Hello YouTube, it's me, the Gamer, and today I'll be drawing Rosalina and Peach in the same picture. Might even throw in a couple of Lumas. But anyway, this was requested by a user. The name should appear on the screen. I'll start out with a basic sketch of where I want the characters to go. Nothing really specific whatsoever. Okay, so we're gonna work on Peach first. She's probably the simplest character out of the two to draw. We sort of want to make her head tilted back a little bit. Drawing the small eyebrows above, up here. Then we're gonna draw in her eyes. Her eyes are sort of ovalish. Give her a smile. Do another outline. We're gonna add in some spikes coming off her eyelashes. Now we're gonna start on the hair, which is really what makes it seem like Peach, I think. Got several defining spots of hair on Peach. I think I might have made her head a little bit too big. I'm gonna shrink it down a bit. We want her to make it look like she's smiling a bit more. So we need to draw in her lips. And maybe the reason she looks like she's not smiling as much is because of her eyebrows up here. Make those a little bit better. And draw in her neck back here. And keep working on the hair. Her ear is right back here behind this spike of hair. Coming down like that. Want it to be up a little bit higher. She's got big, huge blue earrings. On the sides. Have that one back a bit farther. Working on her upper body. Her dress is very fancy, I guess, if I could use that term. But seems like on her arms poofs out a lot. That's what those are. The front has this gem right in the center. I guess it's fancy because she's a princess, obviously, but just wonder if it's a little bit overkill. We have her arm coming down out of the dress here. Gonna come back up this way. I'm gonna have her holding an umbrella here, back behind her head. That's where it's going to be back there. I'm going to detail this a little bit more. Getting our outlines down. Make it so that the sleeves part a little bit. Where her arm comes through. And she has these gloves that go all the way up her arms. We're just going to put those in. They sort of have the same design at the end as the sleeves do. Her hands are going to be very, very thin. Her fingers are. Hands not going to be very big at all. Same thing for the other one. We'll have her arm come back around here somewhere. For the rest of Peach's dress, her body comes down right to about this point. And then from there, her dress just sort of poofs out And from there, her dress just poofs out, sort of in a bell shape. Make her dress a bit longer down here. Gonna detail it by adding in these lines coming right off of here. That's sort of back behind her on the dress. Then as it comes down, her dress sort of fills out a bit in these curves. We're going to finish drawing in Peach's umbrella behind her. It's not really so much an umbrella as it is a parasol. And the final thing for the Princess Peach is her crown of royalty, I guess. Almost forgot about it, which is pretty sad. We got 3 spikes. The largest one's the biggest, or the middle one's the biggest, and then these 2 are just smaller. And we have gems on both of these ones. The line coming around just as detailed. Since both of these characters are equally important, I really want to make them both about the same height and about the same pose. So we're going to draw in Rosalina's eyes now. Rosalina's eyes are more curved than Peach's. You don't actually see Rosalina's other eye. Instead, it's covered up by hair. Drawing her nose here. Try and get the face down a little bit. They did the exact same thing for Rosalina's eyelashes as they did for Peach. Just those little spikes coming out. Eye's going to be facing this way. And we're going to work on the head a bit more. Making sure that we've got it built right. I think that's pretty good. Now we're going to work on Rosalina's hair a little bit. Just as the more defined spikes. Here we've got the biggest one coming across her eye, her other eye. And then we've got a smaller one coming across her head here, then curving back. We got a spike of hair coming down here. Separate her face from her ear. Right back here. Just draw it in. Her eye's a little bit more rounded than Peach's is on the bottom. Made her look a little bit better. Now we're going to draw in the rest of her hair coming back down behind her. We're not done on the other side of her head yet. Drawing 2 smaller spikes. So on Rosalina's head, she has a crown as well. It looks exactly the same as Princess Peach's, except hers is silver rather than gold. So here we're going to work on Rosalina's body a little bit. I come off from her neck, sort of give her some shoulders there. Then in the center here, we have this sort of star emblem, about this big. Draw that in first. From there, her dress starts on either side of her arms with this sort of overlapping piece of cloth. Rosalina's dress is more like a gown in a way, just because of how it's shaped. All the same, her arms come down, or I'm having one of her arms come down just like this, down here, and the other one's gonna be up here. Rosalina's dress does not have as many details on it as Peach's does, but we still need to make sure that we define her body. We got this line here, and then the rest of the dress comes down right from there. Then at the bottom of her dress here, sort of comes up a little bit, and then comes back down, just in this sharp triangle. Here it's rounded off though. And we've got some ruffles in the dress, right underneath that. Then we've got this line coming around the bottom. Just as detail. I'll work on her arms a bit more. So her arms are fully covered by her sleeves. And it seems like the sleeves fan out at the end. I'm gonna have her holding the star wand. And the wand she's holding with her hand is very, very thin. Then from there, we're going to make it so that the fabric fans out around it, around her hand. And draw the star right on the end here. Just add on the star right on the end of her wand. I'm not the best at drawing perfectly even stars, but that's okay. Here we're going to show the edge of her body, where it separates to the rest of the dress. That line there. This arm pretty much follows the same principle as the other hand and arm, except this one's tilted up a bit more. And then we've got the same sort of flaring out on the sleeves as we did the other one, except this one sort of droops down more because her hand is tilted upwards. Here she's holding out her hand. So here I'm using a mechanical pencil for her hands. It helps them to be defined a lot more, makes them so that the lines are thinner, and it makes it look better in general. We need to move the flared out sleeve up a little bit, because I made their hands a little bit too small, but with this mechanical pencil I can make them a little bit longer, yet still keeping their fingers thin. Alright, and for both characters, I'm going to be adding in another side character. Both are going to be Lumas. Start off with the Luma's big oval eyes. And Lumas are almost shaped like stars. Their bodies are more of a teardrop shape than that. So we're going to start it off. And then at the tip, the very top, sort of curves down a bit, or sort of droops. We got some little nubs for the feet. We need to make sure the eyes are fairly even. We're gonna have the Luma sort of shining a bit. We're gonna add in the eyes real quick by adding a glare and then coloring them black. Peach also has a Luma admiring her as well. As you can see, the drawing is very smudged because I used pencil at first, which is good because it allowed me to erase, but now I've sort of got to clean everything up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a fine point Sharpie and I'm going to outline everything, all the lines I want to keep with this Sharpie. Now that I've got everything fully outlined, I'm ready to erase all the pencil that I used to draw them originally. It's going to really clean up the drawing a lot. For both Lumas, their eyes need to be filled in completely black because we're not actually going to shade on their eyes any. So now I'm ready to begin coloring these two characters here. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to lay down a base coat color for all of the colors on their skin, their clothes, and their hair. Like say for Peach's hair, I'm just going to color it very lightly with the yellow at first. And I'm going to do the same for all of the colors on these characters. So my colors don't look entirely right yet, I know, but once I start adding on the shading and more blends of colors, it'll start looking a lot better. So first we're going to shade Rosalina. We're going to start by deciding where we want the light to be. Since I put all the glares in their eyes this direction, then the light's going to be up here to the top right. That means all the shadows, the darker colors, are going to be to the left. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take a color that's darker and shade that direction. Then last but not least, we're going to shade the Lumas. Lumas won't require too much harsh shading. Since they're not the focal point, we're not going to spend too much time on them. We're just going to give them a darker side. Like say for the yellow one, it's going to be a little bit orange. And then we're going to even out that color. We're going to lighten it up. Sort of make it sparkle yellow. And here is my finished drawing of Peach and Rosalina. This was maybe about my third or fourth time drawing Peach, and this was actually my first time drawing Rosalina. And strangely enough, I found Rosalina easier to draw. I messed up a little bit on both of them for their hands and their eyes. I've got to figure out a new way of outlining the eyes and the lips and the hands, because the Sharpie that I'm using right now is a little bit too thick for those lines. But besides that, I think this drawing turned out very well. I like the color and shading. If you guys like this drawing, you should subscribe, because I plan on doing a lot more drawings of video game characters in the future to come. I might even retry drawing these characters sometime. Just depends. And also, if you want to leave me a request, you can do so by going to my channel, going down to the moderators module, and just typing a request of your favorite video game character, and it just might show up as a tutorial of its own. So, thank you guys for watching this video, and until next time, keep on drawing. Hey guys, one last thing before I go. If you want to learn more about the techniques and style I use to make this drawing, you should definitely check out the How to Draw Basics tutorial series that I've started. This is going over everything I know about drawing, from the very simple stuff to the super complex stuff. Subscribe and you'll start seeing a few new additions to the series, and that's all I've got to say. So, thank you guys for all your support. See ya.